Well, it's been a couple weeks since I've had any time to do any work on this post drill. I thought I'd show you guys where I'm at and what I've got done so far. It's completely back together. I actually mounted it onto the door of my shop. And yes, that is not the same color blue that I painted. This was the blue that I wanted, and it just wasn't showing up. It just looked black when I painted it, so I went and got some other paint, and quite a bit happier with the color. I don't have a lot of wall space in my small shop, so I need to make use of every little bit of space available. And so this spot, I'll show you, is right on my door here. Kind of is a perfect spot for it. Nestles in there pretty nice. Need to make a new crank. This is the auto feed. I also had to drop the, I don't know what you want to call this, the base below the doorknob, so I made a couple brackets, actually just one bracket, which allowed me to take it out of this hole here and just drop the whole works down. It also really helps because I have plans on putting a chuck on there, a drill chuck, because it just has a half-inch hole in it, and makes it so you need half-inch shank drill bits, and that's kind of a pain. This is the chuck and mandrel, if you want to call it, that I found. I found this is half-inch straight shank by Jameson 3 taper, and that's the only one I could find on Amazon, so I kind of had to get a chuck that matched that Jameson 3. So I found this pretty cool keyless chuck that matches pretty nicely, and I'm just going to mount it onto that post drill. I've also got plans to somehow mount an electric motor on it. I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to do that. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here, just a minute. I got some step pulleys, and it fits on there pretty nicely, but what I might have to do is I might have to go back to the door with a belt and then straight down and mount the motor down, like down here somewhere. That way the belt isn't running through the path where you could have stuff that you're drilling. It's turning out pretty sweet, and I'm pretty glad I've taken this project on. What I found that I'm going to use for a handle, or use the material from it, is I've got this old bent hatchet, and it just fits in there perfectly. And I'll just put a little crank handle on it and cut that off right there, and that'll be my handle. It's a good thing I never throw anything away. I don't really know where this came from, but I think it's gonna work pretty good for the handle. I'll just I drill a hole in here, and I'll go through, and that has, I can just put a nut on the end of it, just like that somehow. And then I'll take a piece of dowel, and I'll drill a hole in it, and there's like a spring pin, a spring ring on there, and a spring pin there, and I'll put a washer on each side, and that could just be my handle. there's a little bit of irony here when you're using a hand drill to drill a handle for your drill press. Now that I know that this thing will actually drill a hole, I want to start doing a couple modifications to it. First thing I want to do is put a handle on here a little bigger, just to make it easier to put this up and down. This is what I come up with. I'm going to take this Forstner bit, I'm going to drill down this piece of dowel, and then this is going to press on top of that other handle that is there, that's already sticking up. I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to put another handle, sort of like what's on this this bit right here. Brace, sorry. And that'll be on top of here, and I'll fasten that, and then that'll be where like the bearing part of it is. And I'll try that. It'll be kind of temporary just to see if it works, whether I like it or not. And in the future, I can build something different if this does not work. I forgot I had a drill press. Beauty. I had a couple of old skateboard wheel bearings. I countersunk them into I guess the handle. Then I took one of these screws and threaded it into this other part so that now it spins freely on those bearings. Now I'm gonna router this or turn it down somehow so it's more like that shape. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks for checking out this restoration project. If you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. This probably is not going to be the end of this post drill. I'd like to someday put an electric motor on it, but I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to get a chance to do that. So for now, I'll just use it the way it is. Remember, when you're working on projects of your own, keep fit and have fun.